back with a brand new episode, brand new season, brand new set. Guys, I'm so excited. If you're on YouTube, in fact, if you're not on YouTube, go onto YouTube and check out a brand new set. And of two, well, not really a brand new guest, except for one who flew in all the way from Singapore. Well, she's not Singaporean, lah, okay, very much Malaysian. So we have
a huge disclaimer.
we have Amanda Chaang.
Hi, hey. Hi, Maggie.
Hi, girl.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm very excited to have you here. She's been on my guest list for a really long time, but you know, this girl has been in Singapore for the past 2 years because we couldn't travel, we couldn't see each other. So yeah, sorry Nat, we forgot about you. Hi.
Hi, Nat.
Hello, everybody.
I love the outfit.
Welcome, Nat. I
Very
look like
mimey. You look like a mime.
I look like a mime.
So to those of you guys who are not on YouTube, I would highly suggest you maybe, move on over to YouTube, scoot on over because you might want to see the expressions on our face. But if you're an audio person, stay on here, listen to us talk crack. Not crap, crack, like go crack.
Yes.
For the
And
next,
crap.
yes, both, for the next hour. And if you ask me what we're going to talk about today, really is I want to say a big catch up because we have not seen each other, except for Nat. I see her quite a bit with Amanda. 2 years worth of catch up. So, yeah. Sorry, Annette, maybe I ask Amanda, okay, since I've
Sure.
seen you.
Yeah, I mean,
Just leave
they
me.
meet
Just
each other
invite me.
like
Just
every week.
sit
She's just
around.
here to fill up the seat, honestly. I'm just kidding.
Just a warm body.
Okay, no, for real, Amanda, how are you? Like,
Well, where I am right now is good. I mean, considering everything that's happened, I think everyone has been through a lot for the past 2 years. But now that I'm home, I feel good. I feel good to be back.
Welcome back.
Yes.
anything new that's happening with you? And how's your dogs?
Oh
Do you
my
have
gosh.
2 dogs?
Maggie,
Yeah.
2 years, so much has
Yeah.
happened. So much.
Like
But
worth noting though, like anything that you can think of right now.
so much lah. I mean, I think in those 2 years, a lot of people had time to just stay at home
Yeah.
and reflect on their life, on themselves.
lot of us-
Yes.
More like forced to reflect.
And, Minhan is like there shaking his head because he's like, nah. But I mean, everyone did it, you know?
Yeah.
So much like self-growth. But my dogs, let's talk about my dogs for a bit.
Yeah.
My dogs are good. They're at home,
Yeah.
chilling with my brother. My brother stays in Singapore,
Yeah.
so he's there.
At least
But,
your doggos have got
Yeah,
some
and my
company.
dogs make home
Yeah.
like feel like a home,
Oh yeah.
And the past 2 years there, I built a home for myself, and that's
love it.
pretty amazing.
And you guys moved to a new place with a new view,
Yeah,
and
we
it's I
did,
think
we did.
having that was a nice switch to
Yeah.
feeling so stagnant
Yeah,
for the rest.
like we switched energies a bit. Like I really believe in energy now and letting it flow and
yeah.
Yeah.
stagnant energy, which I think we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, so our energy movement is a lot better now, lah.
Love
Like,
it.
Yeah.
What about you, Nat? How's your energy feeling today?
My energy is
Chaotic.
always
She always chaotic one.
She was so
I
hyper.
would call it peaceful chaos.
Yes.
Can you describe or like demonstrate?
Peaceful chaos is when you can be at a high energy without feeling like
Chaotic?
without feeling like it's chaotic. Yeah.
Like Nat is like one of those kind of people. I imagine, in science class, we learn about nuclear and like atoms. Like as a nuclear, I think Nat is very like calm. She's like very centered. She's got her shit together. But then like the atoms around is like, yeah, it's like a bit like,
when you start talking about atoms and like chemicals, I just
I don't know.
that's where my peaceful side comes out.
Okay.
I think our audience needs a bit of context. I think y'all know me. I mean, you've been listening to me since season 1, season 2, but how are these two friends, right?
No.
So maybe the both of you can give us a bit of a context. I know y'all go way back, like way before I knew the both of them individually. These two go way back. Take it away, girls.
Amanda and I went to school together. I think we've known each other since we were 12, 13. I think 12, 13. And then we were really, really close friends. We would sit next to each other in school. Our school ends about 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And then we go back. Every day, 6 p.m., we get on the phone. And we
Yes.
talk for an hour or two.
Like your mom will be like, why are you making porridge? Yes.
Every single day for I think 2-3 years.
But what will you guys talk about after seeing each other for so many hours?
Everything.
like how shitty
Yeah.
the nasi lemak
Yeah.
was today, the teacher, how boring they were.
Like which teacher we hated the most.
shitty boys.
Shitty boys.
Okay.
Two of us, very small sized. We think we were very
big.
like very big. We will go against the Form 5
teacher,
as Form 1
the
teachers.
teacher. Then
Okay.
teacher always catch us because our shorts are very short.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Puan dan.
Once.
Yeah, sorry, Puan.
So we weren't exactly the most intelligent and like studious.
Hey.
But I would say our results weren't bad.
I mean, okay lah.
You
boleh
wanna
pass lah. I mean,
debunk
here we
that?
are.
We don't need to. We're not talking about like straight A's, right? We're just talking about
like
Nobel Prize.
yeah.
Nobel
Maggie,
Prize.
we never even know. Like we were just trying to stay
We're just
in school.
trying to finish the nasi lemak in class when the teacher is not looking.
He saw Nat and I were just, I don't know, like I don't think we were bad
Yep.
students, but we were very
Naughty?
cheeky,
Okay.
Very
naughty,
cheeky.
very cheeky.
Good students. We weren't like the rebels.
Yeah.
But we were.
We don't like pick fights. We don't
Yeah.
bully people. We don't do
No.
things like that. But what we do is we sneak in food into the class. Then we eat nasi lemak, like all the packet nasi lemak, the
Yeah.
big one. Yeah, we will have one.
One underneath our desk.
And one each.
One
And then sometimes got chicken wing, remember?
Yep.
And then we put
Yeah.
the fried chicken.
Yeah.
Then when the teacher, as soon as the teacher turns around
Yeah.
and starts writing things on the board, then we'd be like, we look at each other and be like,
See who gets to finish the pack of nasi lemak first.
So you guys were in like the same class.
yeah.
Seated next to
Next
Yeah.
to each other.
Because we could choose who we wanted to sit with.
we
so
can
we would
choose.
always
So
sit with each
besides that, we were also like always texting each other
in class.
in class.
Wait,
Next
what?
to
Wait,
each
wait.
other.
Texting like SMS.
SMS. Yes.
How old were you guys first? This is primary school or
13,
secondary?
14,
Okay, secondary.
And then we don't need to see.
We don't even need to look at each other.
Yeah, we're just
our
like
phones
this.
will just
The
come
Nokia
underneath. Yeah,
Yes, yes. Then
The
we
butterflies.
Then we
yeah,
will
it's
be
literally like this.
gossiping, and then when I send a text, I'll just be like signaling.
Yeah, check your phone.
So there was no writing because sometimes teachers are really smart at that time. They know when
You're
students
passing
are passing
notes.
notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all don't use notes.
Nah.
No, we do texts. But yeah, we can bring phones to school, and then we just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times lah. Good times.
yeah.
Which school again? Stella Marie, right? No, I don't
many
remember. Sorry.
Maggie, how
You
many
call Nat
times?
one of your good friends, right?
I'm sorry. I just met her like
heaven's
when she's like in her late 20s, so I don't remember
Dude.
her high school.
Every single time I tell her. So Amanda and I were from Sri Garden. Then
Oh,
Amanda
okay,
changed
sorry.
schools after. So Maggie and I last month or last
We went to our trip.
We went to a trip. She came to pick me up. She and Joseph came to pick me up. We went past a school called Stella Marie, right? And she said, "Oh Nat, that's your school." I said,
Since when?
Maggie, that's not my school. Then she said, "Oh, but it's Amanda's school." She said that. Then I said that. Then I said, "No, Maggie, I'm not from Stella Marie." Then after that, I don't know why I didn't tell her which school I'm from. Then she passes by Alice Smith and she goes, "Oh Nat, this is your school." I said, "Maggie, how hard?" Joseph was like, "Maggie, she's from Sri Garden." Okay, Sri Garden. Oh, but then sorry, KL people, I just want to say something. She goes past both schools and she says, "Why are these schools so expensive? But the surrounding like not so expensive."
I mean, I was just
Maggie, shut up.
Oh my
I
god.
was spitting facts. All this, I don't know, international private school, you charge so much. You should look like, the...
But the inside him look good. We have an aircon.
The outside not look so good.
you not talk so much, man.
Like they
Okay.
probably have windows that work, doors that close, doors that can lock.
All right. Okay. Sorry about that. So I'll not forget that you're in Sri Garden. I promise the next 2
you
months.
don't have to remember, but you have to stop
Yeah,
putting me in the
say
wrong
that
school.
she's in Stella Maris and driving past me like, your school, like
She's going every time I see her. If we talk about school, she's like, "Oh, Nat, Stella Marie." Like, I don't want her to remember.
wait,
my
is it
school.
Stella Marie or Stella Maris?
What the heck? Sorry, Stella Maris or Marie.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
know.
You can
I don't
correct me
know.
if I'm wrong, but I'm not from
I'm
KL.
not
I'm from
sure.
Ipoh. I'm from convent. So
Okay.
Easy
Ha,
convent.
What if we said that, you are
You're
from
from like where?
where? I don't
like
know.
Kuantan.
Guan Jing Girls'
Okay.
School.
Or Kuanjing Girls' School.
I
Yeah.
would just say no. It's not. It's
Yeah, then we
okay.
keep on saying you're from Guan Jing.
Yeah. So, but sorry guys, if you guys are lost, we're just in a little usual banter.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's how far Amanda and I
yeah.
go,
So that's like
15, 16 years
that's a
ago.
long time.
That's
Half our
like more
lifetime.
than half our life.
Yeah, I never knew you guys were like this tight when I first met, because I met both of you like individually. And then I think one day Nat was showing me some photos. I was like, no, wait, isn't that Amanda?
Yeah.
So I'm like, whoa, you guys really go way back. So that's a bit of a context for you guys who are listening, why I got the both of them here, because, you know, like they're friends. And then Amanda is so happened that she's in town. I had to grab her on for the show. Otherwise, I probably won't see her for a little while more.
No, I'm gonna try and come
Yay!
back soon.
Please. Oh my gosh. And now we
too
have this
late, but-
VTL.
Yeah.
How was okay?
vaccinated
Wait, the
travelers
both of us,
lane.
we have not touched the airport for many
time.
years. So maybe you can share with us your experience coming back home.
Okay, so I came back via the vaccinated travelers lane, but they also have a land lane.
Land lane.
Yeah, via land. You can travel via land.
okay.
But
Sorry, we don't know.
but you have to go by the designated buses.
Right. So you can't
So
quite
like there's a
take-
bus to KL.
Yes.
or-
You
There's a
can't
bus to
do
KL.
private drive.
No, there's no private driving. But as for the vaccinated travelers lane, you just need to. Okay, I'm not too updated with the SOPs
No
because they
worries.
keep on changing it.
Yeah.
But the basic is that you need to take a PCR test 48 hours before.
So yeah,
Your
before you
flight.
travel.
Then when you arrive in KLIA, you have to sign up for the test online. So you can either do it you can either sign up for the 1 hour test one, which you have to pay a bit extra for, or the 3 hour one, or you can just show up at the airport after your flight and just sign up for the test. But I did the 1 hour one.
Right.
So my results came out as soon as possible. So it's not too tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took my results came out in an hour and it was quite fast. It's
Yeah.
not tedious at all, you know. And yeah.
Would you plan for international travels even for you, Nat? Because technically we can travel already.
But at this point, I think I'm still a little bit like I still want to be a little bit safe because I don't know if I want to be in case I do get COVID when I arrive in
touch
the foreign country. I may need to be there for like 2 weeks, 3
Yeah.
weeks. So at this point of time, I'm not in a rush to travel yet.
yeah.
So maybe I don't know. Maybe in 6 months, then I'll be okay.
Yeah, because technically for Malaysians, even if the country that we're going to does not require quarantine, when you come back, you still need to
still need to
quarantine.
quarantine,
And that's like at least half of your month gone.
Yep. But I think the quarantine now is about 7 days.
Oh, 7 days?
or 10.
Depending on the
7
country.
I feel like
right?
they keep
You're coming
changing.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the country that you're back from.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know that, things are slowly kind of just resuming.
At
back
least
to
there's an
normal.
option now.
Yeah.
For,
Yes.
for people
It's
to
definitely
come.
slowly easing up, but I think the most jarring thing right now is the price.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
really, really expensive.
Even flights, right?
Yeah. So I was really lucky because before they announced the VTL, I was gonna come back already by hook or by crook.
Yeah.
So a week before, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna book my tickets. I was prepared to just serve the quarantine, and then book my tickets. Then the week after they announced VTL, perfect,
Nice.
right? So one of my flights were changed to a VTL lane, and my return, I just needed to change it to a VTL lane, top up $20. So in totality, my flight ticket was about $200.
Dollars. Like,
Not too bad.
Return?
That's
Return.
okay.
Not
that's
too bad.
how much? 500 ringgit? Okay.
Okay, not too
That's
bad.
fine.
But now tickets are going for $700-800.
Dollars?
After they announced the VTL, yeah.
What? So with VTL, it's a
Yeah.
lot more expensive.
Because you don't have to quarantine and they know that people will
so
pay
you really
extra
got
for
lucky
that.
with the tickets actually.
Yeah, I got very, very lucky.
Okay.
Like John and I got really, really lucky.
Oh, John also got his tickets.
Yes.
And you guys intentionally, because I know John came back after you, a week
Yes,
after you or so.
yes.
So that was intentional.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to come back a little bit earlier
Alright.
to have my own time with, this
Your
kind
family.
of, soak it in,
Yeah, for
be by myself again,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice to just have that space.
Yeah,
to
and I
own.
mean, I've been with him for like 2 years nonstop.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
What's it like being married and then living together during a pandemic?
yeah, wow,
Tough.
damn, it was definitely challenging. It
Yeah.
definitely came with its challenges. But I think all in all, John is a really good man. You know, and
I
he's
can
the
see.
kind of guy that, like,
He
he's
cares.
in it. Yeah, he's in it
Yes.
for. I mean, obviously, we're married now, but I mean, he takes it all very seriously. He's very, very patient with me, you know, and especially when I was very, very homesick, things were not good, you know,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
it can get to the point where you're so frustrated, you don't know what to do, and when you are not very clear-headed, you can take it out on your partner.
For sure.
So that's something that did happen, you know. but also we managed to kind of come out through that. I mean, it's not over. We're still going to have our challenges, but at least we got through that period of being, at each other's throat. I'm sure a lot of couples were like that, let's be honest.
Especially during these times, yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I think I live with my partner and it was tough. It wasn't easy at all. Like, having to kind of not just being stuck at home, but having nowhere else to go, especially when you guys say, let's say you guys do get into an argument, you still have to face each other.
Yeah, you have nowhere else
You
to
have
go.
nowhere else to run to except for that extra room at the back, or maybe you still have to come back for dinner. I mean, coming back to the living room for dinner. And it's tough not having a space for you to kind of process, reset. Yeah. The way we reset had to be adapted to still being with each other, which is tough lah, because not everyone adapts or copes.
And not everybody can reset with someone.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
A lot of people, in fact, they can only reset when they're in their own headspace.
Yeah,
with
and
nobody talking
away
to them,
from-
and away from that problem itself. So it must be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. What about you, Nat? Because you live with your family.
I live with my family.
How was that like living? Because I do hear stories about, like maybe some of my friends struggling to live with the family because they keep arguing because, like the house, you have like all 6 of them in the house at all the time, 24/7. But for you, what was that like?
To be honest, I'm naturally very in peace with my family. I mean, if you guys know me,
you are.
My family and I are very close.
Super chill.
And in my house, we don't ever close doors unless it's bedtime. So my room door is never closed. My brother's room door is never closed. So I could be in my room, but my door is wide open and you can see right through the living room. So in a way, we're sort of together.
Yeah.
But when MCO came and when work came, I'm always in my room because I needed to be on my own. I get on calls very often. So to isolate myself from that noise, I'll stay in my room. So living with my family during the MCO was not a problem. But when it came to like dinner time, because my family, we like to eat together and stuff like that. And my family usually eats really early, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is when usually, because I work in a marketing environment.
Yeah.
And that is the time when everybody finishes up their work. 6 p.m. is when you do a WIP, meaning work in progress meeting.
Yeah.
Everybody gathers together and say, okay, what have we got done today? So it was very hard for me to balance and find a way to make both sides work. Like I want to be at the dinner table with my family, and I don't want to make them feel like I've forgotten about family.
Yeah.
But then again, I also needed to work, and my clients were mainly the essential industries. So even though it was the MCO, it was very, very, very taxing on me when it came to work. So I think the only way I could deal with that was I tried to work around my meetings, around my family schedule. We don't have a lot of schedules together. It's just dinner time. And then after that, I got back into my room and then I worked. So then I stay up a little bit late, 2, 3 a.m. But that is also at the point where it became so taxing on myself because I wanted to please everybody. That I came to a breaking point. And I've never been really at a breaking point in my... I've really never experienced that. Until then I was like, wow, what am I going through right now? At that point of time, I was going through a lot of emotions from different aspects of my life.
Yeah.
So living with my family, I was going through other things as well. And I'm not the type to share.
Yeah.
Right? So all those emotions, all those problems, they stay in my room when the door is closed. Right? Because I'm the type that processes myself.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not that I want to hide. It's just that I'm the type that processes myself and I get over it myself, right? And this was like since 2020 happened, right? So when 2020 happened, I went through all of that. And that's when I had a light bulb moment and said, wow, I really want to be in charge of my life.
Yeah.
So everything since then until today has been intentional.
Yeah.
I wanted to form the way I live. I wanted to improve the little things of how I lived. And it could just be like things like changing my mug. Every day I've been using that same mug that says I love my grandmother, for example. And then I'm like, I want to take charge of my life, feel good about my life. I go out and get a glass cup.
That's why you bought that.
Influencer glass cup, for example, right? I buy it, drink tea from it, and I feel better already.
Yeah.
It's just
It's just
what I
little
mean, it's just
changes
little
for
changes
yourself.
for myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So from that whole experience, I realized that just little changes in my life. Nothing very materialistic. It's just the way you form your lifestyle around your life. So I have a life motto since the pandemic.
Oh, love it.
I plan my work around my life, and I'm
okay.
I plan my work around my life and not my life around my work.
Okay.
That's a
So,
very good one.
Yeah,
actually.
so that's why today I found peace with who I am, how I live. I'm not in a marathon, right? The only chase I am is with myself. So that's why I'm at peace with what I do. I don't need to be top of the social ladder. I don't need to be top of the corporate ladder. I'm just me.
Yeah.
So that's what this MCU has done to me.
Wow. Okay, are we clapping? Okay, I love it. Love it.
No, I mean, I think that's great because I mean, Maggie and I had a very short conversation before this, and so many people have had this time, to really reflect.
Yeah.
And it really depends on you. Like, what do you want to get out of it?
Yeah.
After 2 years, I've seen so many of my friends grow as people, like
Yes.
after having conversations with them. And it's such a beautiful thing, I mean, you got to find that side of you that otherwise, if not for the MCO, then
Exactly.
you might not.
Yeah, kind of like, you can either harp on, oh man, we wasted 2 years of our life, man, that's so terrible, so not
waste.
worth it, what a waste. Or you can really think about, were you actually really stagnant during those 2 years?
Yep.
Because I personally, I think I told you just now when we're having chicken rice, that I felt like personally I had the most growth because otherwise I would have just been, let's say pre-pandemic, just working, never really got the time to sit down and really think about what kind of person I am or what kind of person I want to be and in what aspects of my personal life that I can be better. But because, like you said, in this whole pandemic, I know it's such a tiring topic to talk about already, but the truth is it still is, and it has really changed all of us in so many ways. But for you guys, like, what was I think you just shared your takeaway.
Yeah.
But what about you, Amanda? Like, what was the takeaway for you?
Oh my God. Quite similar, to Nat, but I think also similar and different. But I went through a very spiritual journey, actually.
Tell us. Yeah, I want to hear.
A very, very spiritual journey. So, I mean, when I moved to Singapore, I was always homesick. I mean, I still get homesick.
Yeah.
But it was not a very healthy space to be in. And right now, I do recognize that. But hey, I take that as a win because I'm glad that I can stand here 2 years later and recognize that, hey, that's what happened. And the pandemic really changed my outlook on life. I started this really spiritual journey. It started with very, very basic things like being grateful.
Yeah.
After a while, when life is good, you forget about the little things.
Yeah, you do.
Basic things like, even for me, when I was in Singapore, it was hard watching what was happening at home.
In
Because,
what sense?
I mean, Malaysia was not in a
Oh,
very
right,
good
okay,
state.
yeah,
lah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the white flag movement.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Okay.
just things really, really going downhill, the people really, really suffering. And in Singapore, it was bad. I mean, there were people who were suffering, but it was still manageable.
Yeah.
Whereas I felt this level of, like
But
not sympathy,
like
but
helplessness.
What's going on with
a bit helpless.
Yeah.
And all of that kind of things. But I started feeling a lot of gratitude, and it started with basic things like Grab food.
Oh,
So like
Grab food?
like the Grab guy would deliver food,
Ah, okay.
and then I'll just be like, yo, like I'm here in my home and I'm safe. This guy is out there risking his life, delivering food for someone like me. Like, what makes me think that I'm better than him? We're all this human, having this human experience together, and because he has to put food on his table, he has to sacrifice his life basically at the height of the pandemic, and he would like deliver me food. So I was really, really going on the spiritual journey. I was going online a lot. I was listening to a lot of like self-talk, self-help talks, and like doing a lot of meditation. I did quite a bit of
Do you still do it now?
I don't practice it as regularly anymore, but the meditation really helped me, really introduced me into this world of stillness and just being aware and just being present, which I never had before. Because I mean, you can ask Nat, in school I cannot stay still. I am ADD to the max. I will be like from one corner of the room to the next, and God knows, you know. So I am just very, very active.
Yeah.
And then moving to Singapore did not help as well, because it's a very fast-paced environment.
Yeah.
You know, stress level is very, very high. And I think I did get caught up in that. And I did not know how to deal with it. So I was going through some stuff, you know, when I moved to Singapore, some like I won't call it depression, but I was not in a good place.
Oh yeah.
You know, I
mentally,
did not know how to handle that. But the pandemic really changed my view on everything. And then I started reading this book not too long ago, and it's called The Untethered Soul. So it's by this guy. His name is Michael Singer. And he wrote this book when he went to jail.
Okay.
Yeah, he wrote this book when he went to jail. And he's actually been like interviewed by Oprah and a few of those people, like people like Oprah, to talk about his journey. He went to jail he was like in the finance industry or something, you know, he was doing very well. And then one day he was accused of siphoning money or something, but he didn't do it. But he went to jail anyway. And to keep himself strong, he had to start the spiritual journey. And the way he writes about it, he maps it out in his book, is amazing. Untethered Soul. I would really recommend it to people. It changes your relationship with your emotions and your thoughts. You know.
Yeah.
I've always been a very emotional person, but I think I just don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah.
And that is also it can be dangerous. You know, it can be very toxic, can be very unhealthy. But, and these are things, you know, awareness and mindfulness, these are things that we're not taught of in school. We're not
Taught. Yeah, we're not taught.
We're not taught.
in school.
Yeah.
Yes, we are not taught in school. So, and these are like muscles, right? In our mind.
Yeah.
But we don't know how to use any of that. You know, we're taught to like exercise, you know, go for like classes. But our minds are just like a mess. And after a while, our minds are just like so overwhelmed that I think we're just not taught how to handle situations anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So my relationship with my thoughts and my emotions were very, very unhealthy.
Yeah.
And I had to like recalibrate all of that. And also coming back, you know, 2 weeks ago, it also taught me so much about myself when I came back to where I was from the core of it all.
The root of where Amanda is from.
Where Amanda is from, my country, my home, my surroundings, my upbringing. And it was right there in front of me why I am the way I am, why I behave the way I behave, why I have certain thought patterns, why I have certain inclinations to do certain things, you know. And being away from home for 2 years also taught me to kind of separate myself from what has been normalized to what I actually want to be and who I really want to be. You know?
How's that journey for you right now? Like coming back, you've seen it happen. You see like your life in Singapore and now, and you've figured out that root of cause, right?
Yeah.
How is it like for you now? Do you know, is there like a path that you're heading towards, or you see that path happening for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everything is a choice.
Yeah.
Right? Every step of the way, your fate or whatever you want to call it is kind of mapped out based on the choices that you make. I don't think I'm there yet at all. It's a journey. It's a never-ending journey. Sometimes I find it tiring, but I think that's also not a very good way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started seeing a therapist. I mean, a lot of us needed help from therapists during the pandemic. But I did start seeing a therapist, and he also taught me, you know, not to judge my own thoughts and emotions, not to identify it as good or bad, you know. And it's part of the process. Yes, it's tiring. I have to honor how I feel because it is tiring.
Yeah.
But on days when I have a breakthrough, I also have to celebrate that,
Yeah.
you know. And I think that is not something that we are taught to do as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Because when, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when, you go home, you have a celebration, then you tell your parents, then you're like, oh,
Huh? Like that?
yeah. But for you, it's like, then you kind of learn not to celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
Get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's very common in like
The
Asian community.
yes.
It's not even family.
Yes.
Asian community. Oh,
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
So it's
much.
all a habit, And then when I kind of was not in the environment for a while, when I went out, I understood that I want to celebrate people.
Yeah.
I want people to celebrate me as well. Not
Yeah.
like, oh, everyone has to celebrate me, but I
Yeah, I
like
get
that energy,
Yeah.
that is being passed around. Then when you come back, you kind of shrink into that again and you're like, okay, like
Yeah.
and I'm very proud of the point that I've gotten where I can kind of identify what has happened. Like when something happens to me, I will look at it and be like, okay, this is what is happening, but I won't react to that. I'm aware of that happening. And then I ask myself, okay, this is how I feel. Maybe I'm hurt, but you know what? I tell myself that hurt people hurt people.
Yep. No, it's
Oh,
true.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hurt people hurt people.
Definitely.
So I don't get angry as much anymore. I used to get angry. Oh,
You take it so personally,
yeah,
right?
Don't take it because it's not on us. Everyone has their own shit. It is
Yeah,
such
yeah.
a human experience, and one of the things that when I moved to Singapore, one of my biggest struggles was that people were not as friendly.
To you, like compared to like what
To
you had.
Malaysians. Yeah, Malaysians are warmer.
Yeah,
they're just the energy is
nice.
different.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in Singapore, I took that very personally. It affected my mental health a lot. I thought it was me. But now living there for 2 years, I understand,
So you know.
I
not
kind of understand why. Yeah.
Yeah.
People are very stressed. People come and maybe some people don't know better,
Yeah.
you know.
That's all they know, like having
That's all
this
they
pace
know.
in life
Yeah.
constantly every day for their whole lives, right?
And then I go to the side where I'm like, I feel so grateful that I know what it feels like to be in an environment where I'm welcome, where I feel warm. So I hope that I can spread that in Singapore, in whatever
I like
small
that.
way I can, even if it's just with my small group of friends first.
Yeah. I can see that happening in like your stories. Like, you come back, you have like things that you really enjoy.
Yeah.
You'll tag your friends back in Singapore and say, hey, I want you to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Like you show them a little bit of that. I
Love
can see
that.
that from your stories. Yeah.
No, I always tell my friends, I say, come home with me. Let me show you,
Yeah, my home.
my
and
world,
everything,
my home. And I
Yeah.
say, I want you to enjoy this with me. I always tell them, I want you guys to come back and enjoy. Okay, let me come home first. You guys wait, but join me, eventually. Yeah. I feel like everyone needs to let loose once in a while. And it is hard in Singapore. And I can see that in my friends and how stressed that they can get.
Yeah. It's funny how we are so close and so similar in so many ways, yet
but
still so different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that applies to people as well. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like especially I guess couple that look compatible on the outside, but deep down inside, there's definitely a lot of differences that you need to work towards, right?
But Maggie, I know that, through this whole process, you and I, we've been talking
Yeah, we
about
talk
it.
quite a
But
bit.
one thing I'm really proud of you during this whole process is that I realized you've come through a stage in life where you intentionally become more aware of how you react, how you act, and how you sound when it comes to all the things, every aspect of your life.
Yeah.
And Maggie is the kind where she will text me and say, "Hey, Nat, I know you don't have to say much, but I just want to tell you that I realize I'm really bad at blah blah blah, and I want to make an improvement."
Yeah.
A step every single day. And Maggie does that check in with me every maybe other week or like every other month. She has a realization. She has like a
Ding ding, I need to
yeah.
update Nat about this thing. I'll just
a
do
light
it.
bulb
That's
moment.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud
Thank
of
you.
that because maybe up to 2 years back she was probably in her own world. And
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, yeah.
But this whole MCO, as much as she's been like, oh, this MCO has really been like dreadful, but I see so much improvement in her. So I
Aww.
just want to say you did a
Thank
good job.
you.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's so amazing that you guys kind of keep each other in check. You
I
really
want to
need
say very grateful for Nat that I think it wasn't for the pandemic, we wouldn't have gotten this
Yeah.
close. I think really like me, you, and Jen especially,
Yep.
we really just got much, much closer during the lockdown.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think also because of maybe our line of work, or
Yeah.
it's very similar, and three of us share very different opinions, but quite similar values, I
Yeah,
would say.
yeah.
That's why we could really drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why,
Thank
and
you.
the fact that you have this group of friends. I know we always say equality over quantity, but for those who does have quality and
And
quantity, don't have to worry.
Yeah, I
that
don't have to cut it down just
don't
so
have
you
to cut it down just so you have quality over quantity. It's good to, because sometimes, like let's say Maggie and I, we share topics about ABC, but with Amanda, like we always talk back about like the past,
yeah.
and we reminisce about like
Yeah.
what was good for us, and it makes us feel good.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that you only
Correct.
need to stick to ABC, and
Yeah.
then there's just different types of people who you talk to about different things.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have our own personalities when it comes to
Different.
our roles, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as a
And
daughter,
in the
we
group
are
of
different.
friends as
Yeah.
well.
And we all fulfill each other differently.
For
So, you know,
sure.
both of you obviously keep each other in check, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like she keeps me in check more than
Yeah.
because she processes herself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But yeah,
but that's
definitely.
how it works. Yeah.
I agree. And I think just going back to a little bit of what Nat said about how I have changed, right? I did write this in my note actually.
I do want to share.
I feel like, it's one of those things where when you realize it's such an uncomfortable feeling to admit it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I make
Admitting.
sense. Like to acknowledge and admitting that thing. For instance, I guess just little thing like, I always thought I'm a very nice person. I always thought I'm very nice, very kind,
Accommodative.
very accommodative. Actually, to some people, I really am not. But I never realize it. And it obviously took some roadblocks along the way that really had to make me untangle that knot. And that process of untangling that knot was so uncomfortable. And I had to sit with it for a long time. It was not something that happened overnight. Okay, yep, sure. I'm actually, I think that the, what do you call it, realization came in when I realized I was kind of hurting some people in my life and I didn't realize it until I had to really be by myself. Kind of like, because, when you argue with someone, you guys are not talking. And I had to kind of sit down like, yeah, maybe I'm not so nice after all and I can be nicer. Or like, yeah, I'm not that great of a listener even though I thought I'm listening. I'm not actually listening. I'm just ready to attack you with my points, my solid points.
My
so that-
opinions.
my
This is
opinions.
what I
So
think.
so I get my point across so that I win the conversation. And really what I've learned is that maybe the need for me to win doesn't need to be there after all.
Yeah.
I just need to
Yeah.
You don't have to win the
I don't have to
conversation.
win all the time, but
Okay.
for me, I always need to have a last say. I guess in general, like I guess me and my partner, or me and my sister, me and my mom, I always need to have the last say. And I realized that I actually don't need that.
Like Larry King, I read like he did this interview, and one of the most poignant things he said, because he's a world-renowned journalist, he interviewed so many people. He said one of the biggest lessons that he learned is you don't have to think about what you want to say. You listen. Listen.
Yeah.
You can learn so much more when you're just
Listening.
listening. Then I was like, shit.
Yeah. And I don't know, I feel like maybe it's part of my job. Sometimes I feel like it's ingrained in me to, yes, half listen, but half you need to plan for what's next.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
me as a host,
Yep.
I need to
It's
do
second
that.
nature.
Right? It has become become a part of me that then I apply it into my everyday life. But the thing is, it can't be like a one size fit all
Yeah.
kind of method.
Yeah,
So that's why I realized that,
Because when you're talking to your friend, you're not a host.
correct.
Yeah, we have to remind
Or
ourselves
when your friend
that.
is like opening up to you,
Yeah.
you're not a host, Maggie. You need to take that away and really listen. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's okay if you have nothing to say. I think Nat knows this. I always need to say something.
Yep.
I don't know why. Maybe like I said, yeah.
I'm also a bit like that.
Yeah?
So I need solutions. I need, if my friend tells me a problem, I need to find a solution.
How
for
can
my
I help
friend.
you? Okay, what?
That's
yeah.
Maggie.
But it's not on me. Yeah, it's not on us.
And I get
though,
kanchiong for
know?
them, and then I get kanchiong, and in the end, I kind of make them more anxious than they already
Then they
are.
Yeah. Or we pressure ourselves to find a solution.
Yeah.
We're like, oh man, I'm
When-
not doing my job.
Correct.
But
And
it's
all this
not
while,
our
they're not
job.
asking for a solution. They
Yeah.
just want us to listen.
Listen, yeah, correct.
And I think that's why being friends with Nat has made me realize that, because when I tell her my problem, right, sometimes because she doesn't say much, I find my own answer. And because she doesn't say much,
You just
because
need
she
to listen to
listens,
yourself.
that's when I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I think, okay. I think I know what happened. Okay, thank you for listening.
Because I think when you have a problem,
yeah.
and for you to think about it yourself, process it yourself, sometimes that's why it's bad to just process it by yourself. But when you say it and you type it out to someone,
Yeah.
only when you present that problem to somebody else, thinking that you're right? But when you type it out, then you will see,
Yeah.
actually, I shouldn't have said this because then it'll seem like I'm wrong. But that's the fact. And
Yeah.
that's where you get to see
Yeah.
where the problem is. And
Yeah.
that's at the end of the day yourself.
Yeah. And I want to say and acknowledge it today is that's my biggest win, to be able to acknowledge that I need work and definitely not perfect physically, mentally, emotionally, and probably never will be, but I'm ready to go on this journey of more discomfort along the way and really acknowledging it. The first time though was tough.
Yeah. No, it's
so
it's,
hard.
it's a very painful thing. Because I think when we really sit down and like marinate in our thoughts and, there's, especially during the pandemic, we're always talking about the pandemic, but there's no clutter, there's no noise.
Yeah.
So whatever that used to distract us,
Yeah.
we don't have that anymore. So we're just
No.
there sitting with ourselves and realizing that we're not that great of a person. And what do we want to do with that,
Yeah.
I
I really like that. And I think just the next question for me really is, what is that one thing you want to tackle in this new year? I mean, new year, new me, new you, new resolution, right? But do you guys believe in resolution? Or if not resolution, what is that one thing you want to work on next year? Throwing around who want to talk?
For me, I'm not really a person of resolutions.
Yeah, I can
You
see.
know, so because for me, I believe in doing my best at every point of life, right? So, this year, if I want to, next year I want to, I could have short-term goals. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be involved in more, for example, more projects next
Yeah.
year. That's just really a short-term goal to
Yeah.
me. But like, long, like, life resolutions about like next year I want to get fit. Next year I want to be like 5 kgs slimmer, that kind of thing, right? Next year I want to be stronger. Those kind of things, I feel they don't need to wait till next year. I know some people need a blank slate, but if you don't take action, I wrote something down here. If you don't take action
read your
now,
note.
the person that will rob us of what could be the best years
Yeah.
is ourselves.
Yes.
So you are the thief of your own best years, best time, best results.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you need to take charge when you want. If you have that resolution, start now. It could be 30th December, start now.
Yeah.
I know things need to wait, but they don't need to wait till next year.
You can do it now. Like
can
you
do
want to
it
be a
now.
better person, do it now.
It doesn't need to be a change. So let's say you want to get fit. You don't need to wait till next year to say, okay, from next year, Monday onwards, I will start doing this. Because then you're giving yourself a little short time to just be like, okay, I just don't want to do it. Then it gives you a reason to like not do it. That's me with exercise all the time. Right?
But today she's gonna come to Motion Lab with
But
me.
today, I've decided without the New Year, I'm going to Motion Lab with Maggie.
See, she doesn't need a New Year's resolution.
I don't need but that's why I said we just need to try our best, right? But then again, I don't want to glorify hustling. I don't want to glorify like being productive, because rest is
productive. Okay, it's on my shirt, by the
on her
way.
shirt. I saw that on her shirt today.
We're
and
not
I'm like-
pointing at her boob.
I mean, you can point at my boobs all you want, but
For those who are listening, Maggie's wearing a T-shirt that says "Rest is productive," and I can't emphasize this hard enough, because this year, without it being a resolution, I decided I want to live a slow life. I don't want to rush things, and I realize it's important to find your own pace. We can have the same goals. We can say that we want to reach the same goals, but that's in my pace. Respect my pace. I know I could be 31. People around me are like, Nat, you're 31. What are you doing? Nothing's wrong with my life, dude.
Who says that? That's
Nothing's wrong with
rude.
my
Who
life.
says that?
Give them a dice slap.
That's
Bam, bam,
rude.
bam. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, so you don't say things like that. You
Correct.
have your own standards of success.
don't apply it onto you.
don't
right?
project.
Yeah.
Don't project. Correct.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of who I am. I think I'm successful.
Yes.
I'm proud of what I have become.
Yes.
I love my slow life. Now I choose, like I said, but this is privilege to be able to craft life around work, right? So not everybody gets that because people are like 9 to 5. But still, being intentional to do that, and that is what I feel you should start doing if you can. If you don't have control over weekdays, take control of your weekends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I love
that's when you slowly, like Amanda said, it's all body muscle. When you start taking care of that 2 weekends of your life, you start feeling more control with what you do. Slowly, you apply it to one more extra Monday. Then it goes to Tuesday, Wednesday, and after work. Then you start to slowly apply it after work. And that's how you slowly craft your own life,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And that doesn't stop at what you choose to do. That also starts with the things you choose to say.
Oh, yeah.
For example,
absolutely.
you can say, "Oh, my life really sucks."
Uh-huh.
But what if you just said, "My life could be better"?
Yeah.
You know,
Just
things like
shifting-
that.
choice of
Just
words so important.
Shifting. I know it sounds like just a little small word to like express how you feel, but the words that you use really craft how you feel about your life. And if you feel sucky about your life, there's nothing you can do about it, but continue to feel sucky about it.
Yes.
So I like to choose. I'm not a positive person. I would say I'm optimistic, but I also like to always look at the worst situations. You ask
Yeah.
me to choose bad news, good news. I always choose the bad news first. But in your life, try to use more positive verbs, positive words,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely.
Applied to yourself. I'm not asking you to keep telling someone, "Oh my God, you're perfect, you're amazing." Say things that you mean, but for yourself, use more positive words. Like Amanda, you don't feel so great in Singapore. Don't need to say that it sucks.
Yeah.
Because then every day for you
will
is like
suck.
life sucks,
Yeah.
life
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah.
Just say it could be better. It will be better.
Yes, yes.
But not everybody. It's not easy for everyone.
No,
It's
it
like a
takes
muscle.
lot.
It
Yeah,
takes a
yeah.
lot of
Takes a
time.
lot.
So so maybe take steps by intentionally using those words when you're expressing a situation to a friend or a colleague. And I think over time it makes you feel better about life in general, and then it spreads to other aspects of your life, and you can spread it to other people as well. That's how I feel like I can
Yeah.
move forward without
Yeah.
having a resolution, because you
Yeah.
craft every single thing in your life intentionally.
Also, like, yeah, choice of words, so important. I think that's something that my therapist is very big on. Like simple things like, "How are you, Maggie?" "Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I've got so many things to do. This end of the year is crazy." Or you could just go, "You know what? That's a lot of projects coming in. So blessed, really grateful, and very excited to finish up the year strong." Same thing, but the way you say it is different. Choice of words, I guess, it is also one of the things that I want to, do better at, because sometimes when things gets overwhelming, you can be a bit negative. Like, "Oh, I'm so stressed. I'm so tired. I don't want to do
Yeah,
this."
you'll be
right?
surprised how you can craft your own emotions.
Yeah.
No, oh yeah, absolutely. No, it's like one of those kind of things, It's like when we talk to a friend, I'm not gonna tell you, "Oh my God, you're so shit."
Yep.
I'm not gonna tell you so shit. But when I talk to myself, I'm so shit.
Yep.
Yes.
But you
Why
see,
do you do
here's
that?
the thing. If my friend said that to me, I won't like you. Like I won't be friends with you. But why do we
Why
do that
do we
to
do it to
ourselves?
ourselves?
So that's how I kind of remind myself. I'm like, no, man, like,
Yeah.
you got this. You're not, first it starts with you're not that bad, but then it gets better. It's like, hey, you
can
got
do
this.
this. Yeah.
You're better
Yeah.
than you think, even.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And I always like to tell my friends this, but you are the only person who can do yourself the best. Nobody else can do Amanda Chaang best. Nobody else can do Maggy Wang best. You're the best of what you can do. You're the best as your own self, right?
Yeah.
So who's someone else to tell you? But why are you telling yourself that you suck? You could have done better. You're not as good.
Like when it comes to New Year's resolutions, I'm kind of on the same page, I'm not one for New Year's resolutions. But again, oh my God, pandemic things, right? During pandemic, I started working out like proper,
Yes. Very proud of you.
trying to. It took a lot of work again,
Yeah.
not just worked out physically, but also did like mental work, did a meditation and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And there were some days you're not big on that, you don't want to go. But I always tell how I view it now is that I'm showing up for myself.
Yep.
So I'm there to work out. And then when I'm dragging my feet to the gym, I'm like, oh, F this shit. Oh my God. Like, Why am I,
I see
here? I could be in bed.
Oh my
you know?
god, that's me sometimes.
But when I'm exercising and I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, look at my legs, they work.
Look at that booty,
Like, you know, like who am I? But I'm in the mirror and I'm like, wow, look at my arms.
What a
They
strong
work.
girl.
They work. Because like maybe I could be injured, you know, and I could not work out, and that would be even worse actually. But hey, my bloody limbs work. So that's amazing. That's me showing up for myself. Even with meditation, sometimes I have to kind of like force myself. But then I spoke about this to my therapist, and he was like, no, don't label it as good or bad. Just if you feel like it, just do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like there's no right or wrong, but
Yeah.
what's good for you and what's okay for you, right? Man, I don't know. I think for me, I'm entering my 30s soon.
Maggie has this thing about
Yeah.
I'm turning 30.
I hate that.
But
I
you know
hate it.
what?
I don't know why.
I think being 30 is so much better.
That's
than
why I want to
being-
ask the both of you. No, I need to talk about this. I just don't know why. I think Nat knows because I talk about this all the time. Oh my God, I'm turning 30, I'm turning 30. Very scary. Did you guys experience this when you were turning 30? I know
We
this is
turned 30 in the pandemic, so it was
Yeah.
the worst time to turn 30. It didn't feel like anything at all. But I think mentally, spiritually, I feel better. I feel more grown up.
okay.
I feel like she's like, okay, Amanda, you can't play around anymore. You know, you gotta,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm enjoying my 30s. Someone told me that being in your 30s is like being in your 20s, but with a bit more money and a bit more freedom, you know, to make our own decisions. It's true. It's true.
yes,
So I mean,
yes.
just enjoy
I
it.
like
Honestly,
that.
like sometimes I'll talk to my friends and they'll be like, oh my God, we're 30, we're so old. I'm like, nah, man, we're not.
Shut the fuck
Shut up. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. I love being
I know
30.
now every time I say I'm about to turn 30, Nat just roll her eyes and shut up.
I like being 30.
But yeah, I guess if anything for me, I used to be very big on resolution. I'm a very basic bitch lah. I guess.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm that basic girl that write my resolution and paste on my wardrobe and everything.
On the mirror.
She's the kind. And I'll just be like, oh my God, another basic bitch move.
But I think really like over the years, not just the pandemic, like over the years, gradually I have really like shifted a little bit, changed a little. Like I'm a bit more chill, less uptight, still uptight, but lesser. Like really tapering down, if I make sense. Like that super intense Maggie has tapered down. You guys would see it on our brand new Head Over Heels poster, you know, from Blazer and shit in the second season. Now we kind of tapered down. I don't know if that reflects. Nat's laughing. Actually, you know what, Nat? I sent you the photo. Can you tell them what you
So,
said?
all right, guys. So Maggie, if you guys were from season 1, you've seen Maggie's Head Over
Sweet
Heels.
girl.
She says the sweet girl poster. I get it, right? So yesterday she sent me her season 3 poster. Season 3, right?
Yeah.
Season 3 poster, and she's like, "Oh my God, Nat, look at my season 1 versus season 3. I'm a sweet girl. Now I'm a
Bad girl.
bad girl,
Bad girl.
Bad bitch.
bad bitch." But I looked at the photo. I'm like, sorry, Maggie, you still look sweet. You just look like a bigger cheche. Like who knows her shit, you know? But she's still sweet. So I said, Maggie, I gotta let you know, you're not
Gotta
bad
be
bitch.
honest. Yeah.
You don't look bad bitch.
Oh man. Okay,
It's
now,
okay,
now I
I'll
want
try.
to see this.
I'll try.
Poster, okay.
You see. So a bit of a context. We are recording this just a few days before the new year because, you know, Amanda is very busy. We're all busy. But yes, I am a bad bitch.
So
I'll
she said.
try to channel that for the rest of 2022. But yeah, I will embrace what 30 has to offer. And I'm very excited. Honestly, I'm more excited, just a bit of scared along with it, but I'm excited. I feel like I can do a lot more. You're right. Like it's just like 20s, but better with more money.
Oh, but I will say though, when I turned 30, I like started buying supplements.
Yes, now I go on Pinterest, I look at furniture and stuff.
I bought like 30, I was like, yeah, you know, better take care of my bones and like my hair and my nails. So I bought like biotin,
Eat collagen.
vitamins. I
Omega
started
3,
buying
Q10.
collagen, fish oil for my brains.
Yes, I will take that
Yes,
into
yes.
consideration.
I heard, and this is not sponsored. No, sorry.
This episode is not sponsored, okay, guys? If it is, you would know, okay? But yeah, that was really fun. Okay, I love that. I think we have kind of pretty much covered most whatever we need to say. Definitely, I think the most important thing that I really learned, that I think my biggest takeaway, okay, my turn, is that I think the show is really kind of head over heels in general, means falling in love with something. So I always remind people to fall head over heels for yourself first and always, like self-love, right? Going back to self-love, but also my definition of self-love. I know where I'm going. I'm not going for the basic bitch definition.
All right.
Okay, let's hold
What
up,
is the
relax.
basic bitch?
Like, bubble bath, selfie, beautiful
Hey, I do that
quotes.
also, mas.
Yeah. So it's a bit of that some days, but like I feel like my definition of falling head over heels for yourself, first and always, especially after this whole too crazy season of our lives, has so changed so much in a sense where I think, okay, I wrote it down in case. Self-love isn't just blah 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 and like doing pretty things, stuff, but true self-love to me right now is really holding myself accountable with my actions and reactions, my behavior. And because self-love without any form of awareness, I think it's not enough. It's not true. Not true self-love. And it's useless if you ask me now that I'm in this time of my life. If I'm not able to be accountable with myself and I say, oh, I practice self-love, bullshit girl, try again. Okay, so that's how it is for me now. And I feel like I hope that I'm able to continue to transition and progress and grow along with the show, along with all the conversations I'm going to be having on this show in the next year. I'm very excited for that. I'm so glad I started this season with the both of you.
It's such a good start.
Yeah, and I guess the three of us have learned that holding ourselves accountable is important.
Yep.
And so, Xiao Mei Meis, you're listening.
Listen to Chiche, yeah?
Yeah, listen to Jeche talking. Is hold yourself accountable. But really, sorry, I went back to my Meiji. Yeah, I guess we are wrapping up the show. Is there anything that I didn't ask you guys? You have it in your note and you want to share?
No, I think we've covered most of it.
I love that you brought your note here.
Yeah, I wrote down, because before we did the show, I sort of knew what we were going to talk about. So
Yeah.
I wrote down a list. I'm a listicle.
Listicle.
Basic
Basic bish.
paper. I don't use
Basic bish.
I don't use.
Is it acid paper? Is it recyclable?
Maybe you should just stop talking about these things. Before the show, I had. If you guys are watching, I have some drinks with me, and she was like, "You're bringing a plastic cup to my show." I'm like, Maggie, just shut up, okay? I'm just a normal consumer. So this is what I mean. So Maggie is actually doing a really great thing, right? You know, she's the kind of girl who upcycles, downcycles,
Not all the
recycle,
time.
as much as she can.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I shared this on the show. Sorry, guys, if I'm taking up time, but I
No,
just want to
just say
share
it.
this. When Maggie and I first got to know each other, I met her I went to see her in a cafe. We met up at
Where?
a cafe in Mid Valley, and I was coming from far, and she was holding a plastic cup. I wasn't even judging her, bro.
What
She was
plastic
holding
cup?
a plastic cup or paper or a plastic cup. She
Pretty
looked
sure
at me.
it wasn't me.
No,
Denial.
She saw me.
She's naming and
she
shaming.
said, she saw me and she said, sorry, this one, I didn't want the plastic cup.
So defensive.
I was like, Maggie, I wasn't even looking at your cup. And even if you were, I wouldn't even
She's
thought anything
projecting.
about
She was projecting.
She was projecting what others would say, but this was Maggie 2 years ago.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah,
So she was
yeah.
projecting what others would say when people saw her with a plastic cup.
Yeah.
So, but Maggie's not been doing that lately. But I
No,
took
I
a
was
plastic
just
cup.
making fun of you.
Yeah,
but
she was just for jokes, because we
Yeah.
always have this conversation. But,
But
yeah.
yeah. I like that. Yeah, definitely. I think in 2 years we can change this much.
Oh,
Can you
wow.
imagine the next few years? We will have this conversation again, like the both of you again, maybe at the end of the season or whatnot. And we'll see where we are and we'll check in then.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right,
Let's do
Amanda,
that.
anyone? I usually say this to artists. So, Amanda, anything you want to say to your Malaysian fans?
No, not really. No, I don't.
Okay, sorry guys, she got nothing to say to you.
I was not prepared for that.
No, but I'm just joking. But really, thank you so much for coming. I'm very excited for you.
Yes, I'm excited.
I'm very happy that we actually have you here in flesh. That we haven't seen
after
you for
2 years.
2 years. By the way, her hug just now very lightweight. You need to work on your hug. We haven't
Yeah.
seen each other for 2 years,
Okay,
Amanda.
I'm not very touchy, so I'm not a very good hugger.
She hugged me like,
I need to learn how to hug better. I'm not a very touchy person.
but I still appreciated it.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you so much. And again, you guys follow the both of them. Love their hilarious They are beautiful, the smartest women that I have in my life. Very grateful to have them as my friends. So on my right, on the right-hand side is Natalie Chai. On my left is Amanda Chaang. And with that, we wrap up the first episode of the third season. I'm so excited. I don't know, I'm a bit hyper. But yes, with that, I always end the episode with, you want to say it together?
What?
Fall head over heel for yourself first and always.
We could try, but it may
We can try. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Remember to fall head over heels for yourself first and always. Okay, bye.
Hey, what you didn't? I also don't know.
It was just mumbling, bro.
Okay, one more.
Okay, one more. Fall head over heels for yourself.
That was just like a primary school reading. Please, Maggie, just do it yourself.
Okay, cut. Bye.